Cup Series after weeks of breaks, and we are live here with BMRL Network once again. It's myself, Zebby here, alongside I've got Mike with me to take us along the journey. How are you doing, Mike? Excited to be back for the Cup Series after weeks of a break.
Yeah, real happy to be here, and glad to be able to call this one with you again, buddy.
Yeah, I mean, great, really getting these drivers get out on the track here at Darlington. Really, I forgot to say, we are here tonight at Darlington. It's going to be 200 laps of the circuit. It's going to be a lot of them, but the circuit isn't too long of a distance, so they kind of pass by rapidly. So it's going to be 3 stages again. Fun would be from 0 to 50, then it'll be from lap 50 to 110, then it'll be the final and the third stage from 110 to 200. So excited to see how everybody's, what they're going to be doing around here. Really excited to see who takes victory or goes quick in qualifying. Everybody really mixing up the grid and starting to go big tonight.
Yeah, this is going to be a good one here. Darlington, they always called this track too tough to tame. We're going to find out tonight.
Yeah, it really will be. And I mean, calling out here in the Cup Series, there only has been one driver who's won 2 races this season so far, and it has been Donald Ray. It'll depend if he's able to make it a third one tonight, or will it be Andrew Cruz, the driver who took the previous victory at Charlotte Motor Speedway. It was a long time ago, back in December. I mean, it almost been a month, so they must be feeling a little bit strange for these drivers. Not strange, I know they practice a lot, even when they are not racing in these cars, but still to be back at the cars around you here at Darlington still must be a new feeling to be back again on the track and really give it all.
And honestly, this is my first time doing a broadcast here at Darlington. Yeah. I keep forgetting that's where we're at. But yeah, man, this is my first time doing this at this track, and I'm excited for this one.
Yeah, really. I mean, take it through. The racing should be good as well. And as far as Darlington's concerned, for me, I believe I've done it once. It should be with one of the series here at... Yes, it must have been in the Truck Series, I believe, back in December. The one before this race. Not before this race, but basically these series run on a little bit of almost same track, but now after the break, it's been one delay. Another week was delayed for one of the other series, so interesting to see. I think just a minute remaining in the qualifying session now. Donald Ray, quickest of them all still, with just Austin Hund behind him, with about just a tenth down, and drivers all in the 29s from Donald Ray to Sean Cross in P7. Chris Mayo, Jamie Prevost, and Darby outside of those 29s, and Adam Gardner and Andrew Cruz yet to post a time on board yet.
Yeah, for me, I'm looking to see Andrew Cruz in like at least the top 5 here tonight. We've seen him really just put on a good performance the last few races, and as soon as I say that, look what happens here, Zeb.
Yep, he does it. He really doesn't disappoint your words and takes it the fastest, quickest of them all and gets it going. Really puts his mark there that he can put the time on board in the remaining few seconds and get himself to the top. So I think it's really going to be a great fight inside that top 3. Be Andrew Cruz, Donald Ray, Austin Hund, all 3 great competitive drivers. Right behind them is going to be William there as well. So the top 4, top 5 really will be some great and tight racing between all of them.
Yeah, this is going to be really interesting.
Yes, we just have now about 20 seconds to the end of the qualifying session, and we have the drivers gridding up. Adam Gardner still without a time, but we'll see. He probably must be having just a lap or 2 remaining, or maybe he's good, hasn't done a lap, or yeah, he was out on track and got his laps invalidated, which probably doesn't have much on these oval tracks, but it can happen if you're putting your car in the wall and really get him out. But the checkered flag is now out, so the 11 drivers who put their times on the board are done, with Adam Gardner without a time in the qualifying session.
And as we get ready to grid here, man, the top two, this is going to be something I'm going to want to focus on here because you just know somebody's going to get a really good start here, and I'm wondering which one it's going to be.
Yeah, it really will be fantastic, and it is none other than Andrew Gruce and Donald Ray, both starting on that front row. The top two, then come Austin Hund and William Gay in P3 and 4, just completing the top two rows on the grid. And we are seeing that again, and row 5, you straight jump to row 5 from P3 to 4, straight jumps up to row 5 to P9 for Chris Mayo and 10 for Jamie Prevost, completing out the top 10.
Uh-oh. I think I'm losing internet.
Maybe. No, I can't hear Matt as well. And the stream is...
Yeah, same.
Yep.
Uh-oh. Yeah.
Yeah, now, but the stream seems to be... Okay. Okay. And let's get it going. We are on the track. The top two are ready to get going. The number 9 of Donald Ray and number 19 of Andrew Gruce as we get the pace car coming into the pit lane. And we're going to get all these drivers racing all along and get going as soon as they cross the line and go green for racing. Austin Hund's right behind those drivers as well. Inside that top 3 else, they're going to go green side by side already. Meanwhile, there is going to be almost a caution. They make contact as Andrew Gruce falls back down the grid after making contact with Donald Ray.
Not a good way to start off your race there, buddy.
Yeah, that was really unexpected. Sure, we've seen somewhat contact being made at the restart of a pace car or of an caution, but never at the race start that we get a rolling start. But Andrew Gruce just making contact with Donald Ray there, and now Donald has got William right behind him. William in the 75 car could well be looking for a chance and looking for a move to get going for that lead. But Donald once again does what he does best, defending. But will he be able to defend as William is right going to be there? Now they're going to be side by side. William's going to be coming close to him and he's going to get ahead of him. But will it be Donald keeping it behind? And yes, it will be Donald losing out on the position, and William takes the lead.
Very nice move there by William to take the lead. I mean, that was some smooth driving.
Yep, takes it along. He really does it very quickly. And I mean, as soon as the top two make contact, William was right behind them, and he was going to be there to take the advantage of it. And Austin Hund's now right behind as well.
And look at the gap that William already has on Donald here. That is crazy. Absolutely insane. He jumps out to the lead, and now he is leaving Donald in the dust.
Yes, he really is. I mean, he's pulling away quite massively. Sure, sometimes we've seen Donald get overtaken, but try and get back into the leader, into that position, stay within that car. But that isn't quite the case around here at Darlington, as William has moving far away, and now Austin's right behind Donald as well. Donald finds it hard at that moment after, of course, that contact. He got overtaken by William, and Austin Hund, if he continues at that pace, he might as well be ahead of Donald in a few laps' time.
Yeah, the 15 car starting to creep up on Donald here.
Yeah, he's not going to stay behind him for too long if he really stays like this. Maybe Donald now pulling away a little bit at some point. A few laps early, a few laps prior to this, they were very much closer to each other. But again, I think Austin Hunt just taking it smoothly, not trying to make any mistakes. We've seen Austin a lot of the times at the top of the field, but just never been able to convert it to a win yet in the Cup Series. And I'm sure he'd be looking for that tonight. And he's got one of the best chances being inside that top 3.
And you know, oh, I'm sorry.
There we go, as we just get a 10 seconds of commercial, and we'll catch it back once we get those 10 seconds ended. And there we go, we pick it up back again as we see cars rolling up around the circuit, as we're seeing some different cars as well now around the circuit. Meanwhile, Adam Gardiner, he started last place, and maybe now he's catching up back and starting to get back at the top. Meanwhile, we see Andrew Cruz running up on his own. Hard to tell in what position he's running at the moment, but I'm sure we'll get that data back again. And once we do, we'll have a proper idea of where one another are running. But I think, except for the top two, the P2 and 3 cars, nobody's really much closer to each other. But Darlington, not really as much effective of the drafting as well.
And, you know, I want to say this too, you know, for all of you that are used to the super speedway tracks, this one is a little unique because you notice there is a massive apron here, and it is kind of a narrow track here. I mean, you see the white dotted line in the corner, and anything above that is the racing surface. It is really easy to not have enough room when you're side by side here.
Yeah, it really does. And I think sometimes you notice around here, the drivers, even when they're driving on their own, they could end up losing a little bit of focus and then touching up the wall on the outside. And that really ruins up there, as we see William get really close to that wall on the outside. And exactly that's what I was talking about, that sometimes you lose out that little focus and the walls aren't far away as well around here. Doesn't matter if you're side by side or not. You could be even on your own and touching up that wall.
And this is also definitely a track I don't think we're going to see any 3 wide unless somebody puts it on the apron.
Yeah, I mean, really, this track narrow as this one, it's really quite hard. It's almost like Atlanta, as narrow as that was, with the 2 cars going side by side, and the third one is out of caution. Not like impossible, but it's still in a way that not possible as well. You know, there has to be a wreck if they're really side by side, unless they're on this straight, which is pretty much the most widest part of the track.
And right now we got eyes on the number 5 car here. And you see right behind him was our pole sitter in the 19 back there.
Yeah, that was. Meanwhile, we see the number 8 car coming into pit road. And there is the number 14 fighting off the 24 of Chris Mayo. Both of them are going to be all together. Meanwhile, the 24 is blinking up there. But we are going to see, will we see any overtake being done there? Because the 14 is looking like is gaining quite a lot on the 24 as we see some of the cars. Meanwhile, Donald has now caught up to William. And he could well be on his way to take back the lead, which was his before the then lap 1 after that mistake contact. Meanwhile, the 24 might have just made contact with the wall. We saw a little bit of debris flying, but there is nothing visible damage for the 24 yet. So, but the 14 seems to be getting closer and closer now to the 24.
And the 24 is having like really bad connection issues. Wow. And look at Donald here. he is caught right up to the rear bumper of William. He's hungry for this lead.
Yes, he really is. I mean, sure, William pulled away for a little bit, but now he's back again, about to be caught up by Donald. And remember, not far away is Austin Hunt as well. If he sees both of those two drivers going side by side, he could well be finding his way through. He will be looking for just like cherry on top. If they go side by side, maybe a little contact, he could well be on his way into the race lead. But we'll see what happens, though. Still far from being done for Austin Hunt yet.
Yeah, plenty of racing still to be done here at Darlington. And Austin Hunt definitely has a lot of time on his hands if he wants to catch up and get a hold of that lead.
Yes, he really would be. I mean, he has, as I said earlier on, he has been very competitive in the last all of the series is pretty much he's raced around in the Truck Series and in the Cup Series. He's been quite competitive in terms of race pace and performance, but that hasn't kind of converted as much as he would have wanted. So this is a very good opportunity with, I think, Andrew Gruus out of the top 10, top 3. Probably if there's an opportunity for Andrew Gruus, he might be back within that top 3. But as of now, he's far away, and there was a car behind almost having a spin on their own.
Yeah, that was a pretty close one. I seen him get loose as well there. He got a little too low, and car got a little upset there.
Yep, really lucky to really save it up and not go in the wall, because a lot of the time we see drivers exit the corners and lose out the rear end, and it kind of is then just there a passenger to catch up to it. Meanwhile, Donald is about to catch up to William, but then Austin Hunt being up right behind those two as well. I think all three now just kind of cruising, just running behind each other, not quite doing much for an overtake, but kind of just being patient, playing the patience game, just waiting for the perfect opportunity to really go for a move. I think not really rushing up things, because sometimes you could be a little bit impatient, and that just ending up your and the driver and you's race as well, and that isn't always a best feeling. So kind of just patience game from all three drivers at this point.
Yeah, this is where you got to kind of play being in the top 3 like a chess game. Patience and knowing when to make your move.
Yeah, all three. I mean, at some points we are seeing maybe Donald get a little closer to William, but then Austin catches up back again as well. So they're all still together. I mean, all three of them know that nobody's going to run away. Kind of like Donald's not going for that move. He knows that William's not going to be far away, but he might be getting closer to be making that move now, as he's almost going to be thinking to go to the outside line, but that isn't quite going to be happening. But that then now going to allow Austin to get closer, and now the number 15 car is closer to the 9, but he pulls away a little bit one more time once again, gets a little bit away from the 15, and a little bit of pressure release from Donald, as he might have thought that he could get overtaken by the 15, but the pressure will never be over until it's done, until he makes the move on William, as he now gets closer once again for the move, but he's not going for it. You know, he's maybe getting the opportunities. He kind of there is a opportunity for him if he tends to go for it, but he just wants to be playing the patience game here.
Yeah, definitely. It is all about just being patient, staying up in the top 3, not getting out of the groove, and when there's a gap, you go for it.
Once again, getting closer, like every corner, every more mile they go forward on the circuit, we are seeing Donald get closer, and he might just well be on the way to make a move. This is his best opportunity, as good as he could get. Far away from Austin, so unless they bend each other off the track, there is not going to be much opportunity for Austin to go for that move as well. For a little bit of time, Donald thought to go high and maybe catch him up when William goes low, but William stayed there, and a nice little defensive position is positioning his car in a defensive way, as they were almost side by side and almost came together, but just staying away. Still some work to do for Donald there, and still not enough, and I think now he's really in the rhythm and in the mood to be making that move.
And, you know, I'm going to quote a legendary F1 driver here when talking about being patient and waiting for your move and waiting for the gap. If you're not racing, trying to get into the gap, you're not racing at all. And that's how these guys are playing it here.
Let me correct it for you. That it must be phrasing. Correct me if I'm wrong. You must be referring to that Ayrton Senna's quote. Like, if you no longer go for a gap that exists, you're no longer a racing driver. And I think at this point, Donald really trying to go for it, but still not being enough.
By the way, awesome movie too. Well, series.
Yeah.
And look at Austin getting on the bumper here of Donald.
Yeah, I think at this point now, Donald's kind of putting himself in pressure and a bit of danger as well, because the longer he delays making an overtake on William, the longer he's in danger from Austin, as he almost there goes for a move. That is the number 48. There is somewhat cars. Unfortunately, we don't have much information about the cars and the overlays and stuff, so we don't get the idea of how much closer the cars are to each other. But the top three, once again, as I was saying, that the longer Donald stays behind William, the longer he's going to be in pressure from Austin as well. I think if he's just going to stay there, Austin might fancy a move, but still not yet. Austin just stay there as well as he makes contact with the wall.
Yeah, these guys, these top three drivers have just checked out. They are gone, folks.
They're far away from
they have about half a track on the other group.
Yeah, they really do. I mean, they're almost far away, and anything to be seen from one of those drivers. And Donald might have been going for a move or make contact with the wall there on the outside, just trying to get on the inside there and stay away from the wall. And still, once again, no overtaking opportunities, no interest shown from anybody there. I mean, Austin really staying there. He hasn't. Maybe we saw for a few moments there that Donald maybe trying to go to the inside, to the outside, really put some pressure on William. But William doing a very good job here as well, defending and not really panicking into making a mistake and really losing out on the position. But there we go, as we see a little bit of more of the action. Meanwhile, Austin has disappeared. He made contact with the wall. He might have headed pit road. We don't see him though, unless he's dropped up massively. I think now Donald is going to be driving pressure free and will be on his way to make a move anytime he gets a chance. But I think he's really got all the chances he needs, being right very behind, very close to Austin, to William there. I think now is going to be his best opportunity for him to be making that move, and he's going to be already on his way to be trying that as we have a look at the number 3 car, but he's going to let those cars right behind get past. They were almost side by side for number 9 and the 75, but still not enough for for Donald to get through on the 75 of William.
What a battle we've got going on here, folks. Side by side right here. It looks like they're going to get side by side. And, 75 car just gets enough momentum to keep it from happening here again.
Yeah, it really does. I mean, Donald is trying something, and William is doing something. We see Donald do just some bit of great defending, just placing his car in the perfect moment and time that he needs to do to not really allow the car behind overtake. And he's at least so far as it stands, he has been quite successful in that, not allowing for Donald to get through, unless the commentator curse, as the drivers like to call it, it strikes and William gets overtaking, but not quite the case for time being.
Not really sure what's going on here, but man, these guys are like on a whole nother level compared to the rest of the field. It just seems like everybody is dropping hard compared to these two.
Yeah, really. I mean, it's more like, sometimes the drivers are like, okay, let's play together. Maybe we're not even teammates, but just play together, take the race along. It's a long race. We'll maybe fight it out in the third stage or the second stage, but still, it feels like Donald is going for it. Donald is trying everything to really get ahead of him, but he's just not able to do it.
Yeah, definitely a tough battle they have on their hands, the top two.
Meanwhile, the rest of the field just running around and doing on their own. Meanwhile, there is a little bit of a battle going on between 48 and the one behind them, and ahead of them was another car, the 73 of Prevo. So this little three-car battle going on really close as well, and the two right behind them. So the battles are now heating up. Meanwhile, one of them heads pit road. It's going to be Jamie Prevo hitting the wall on the outside. It's really going to allow the number 48 to get closer. Still not enough to overtake him, but very close now. The gap would have been a little far away. That now allows the 48 to get closer.
Oh, whoa,
Yellow's out, and that is going to be yellow flags as we see Jamie Prevo making contact, hitting the wall, spinning around, and now there's going to be a bit more contact. That is going to be another car going into the back of them, and literally he was parked up on the track and he went into him, the number 5, and that's going to be more contacts and damage out on those cars, and that's going to be caution now.
Man, that was a massive hit.
And we've got the cautions out, so we'll take a bit of a commercial break and be...
Don't tell me the iRacing servers are starting to boot people out of the race. I have a feeling that's happening.
And we back at it with the pace car going in, and we go green racing once again. Meanwhile, Adam Gardner has found his way to the top 2 with Donald Ray leading ahead of everyone. He's got his lead that he was looking for before the caution, so it kind of played out for him. Meanwhile, Adam Gardner inside that top 2 will be Sean Cross and some other guys right behind as well. We getting us Austin Hunt to be back between the top drivers once again. He went off for a little bit, but he seems to be in there now with some of the other drivers inside that top 3 as well, with all Donald Ray still leading ahead of Adam Gardner, Austin Hunt, and William, along with Jeff Peppers and Humberto. Junior as well, as all those drivers now getting out on the circuit. Meanwhile, there could be a move coming up for the number 8 car, but still not close enough to be going for it.
And look at him just really hammer the throttle here on this restart. Oh, contact! Holy cow, that was a pretty good hit into the wall there. Oh, he does it again!
And he hits it once again. That was a big contact being made by Adam Gardner against the wall, and he does it once again. He might well be having some great damage, or maybe some sleeping to do, that he's gotten up into the wall, and that's not going to be good news for him. Might be race over. He could still run out on the track, but it's going to be very hard for him as he's again very close to the wall.
Yeah, you could see some sparks spitting out when he was trying to get off the wall. That car is definitely broke.
Yeah, big problems for him to really repair out any damages. Even if he hasn't got much, he will have to stay. He will still have to head into the pits, and I think we are just getting closer to this to the end of this stage, which will be at the end of lap 50. The first one will be, so we're just getting towards the end of it, just about 7 laps to the end, and we see another car making contact with the wall, and that's going to be more and more hits for them, and that is going to be more problems as we are trying to identify who that was. But that's more cars making contact. No caution yet, so just staying out of trouble against others, but ruining their own race.
Man. Oh, car getting loose back there, right behind Donald Ray. You seen that in the background, the car just stepping out a little bit, not sure who it was.
Yeah, the driver's really now finding it hard to even staying out on the circuit, really getting to them. The thing I talked about, the drivers can't even get into the wall on their own, and we're kind of seeing that now transition as we get into the race. More and more laps the drivers do around here. It's rather like the more you go around the circuit, you get in the rhythm, but it's kind of like just backfiring against these drivers.
And it looks like the car that stepped out might have been the 15 of Austin Hoond.
Yeah, he's just ahead of Andrew Cruz. Andrew hasn't been quite able to recover from that contact at lap 1. He may as well be looking for an opportunity that he can recover. He, in fact, is in second. He's not in second place, actually. Austin's in second place as it stands. So he might be lapped. Will be Andrew Cruz in 6th place, but they were kind of running together, so maybe one of them has lapped one another, and just 4 laps now. Meanwhile, we see Donald Ray getting chased up by a car behind. Could well we see a move being made, and yes, we will see round the outside the number 8 went of Donald Ray to get himself into the lead, and so will Sean Cross, just getting ahead of Austin Hund there.
Donald Ray still putting on a really good show here.
Yeah, really getting into the top as that must have been Sean Cross in that number 8 car, my bad. I wasn't fighting Andrew Cruz there, Donald Ray there. He was just letting him get past and lose out on the lap that he might have gained. And we're just going to see who is really going to be there to be attacking to the top. And with the amount of the cars around here and that some of the top drivers were driving, a lot of them are not on the lead lap. So it kind of is a little bit hard to judge who's there and who's not, but we'll see. Meanwhile, the 14 gets on the inside and back on the outside once again, almost making contact with the wall.
And man, like I said earlier, this track is known as the one too tough to tame, and this track is definitely showing its teeth here tonight.
It sure is, with just one lap to go after this one. Donald Ray looks very set and secure to be taking stage 1 win here at Darlington, unless and somebody could challenge it, but nobody is really closer to the class of Donald Ray. Sure, William was for a while, but he finds himself far away, not far away, only in second place, but still 1.8 seconds behind Donald Ray, and just not getting the restart that William would have wanted, and really the lead that he had before that caution being called out. And we are on to lap 50 now.
And I think stage 2, we're going to see a whole different William. I think we're going to see him give Donald Ray another really good fight to the start of the next stage here.
Yes, he really will be, William. I mean, just trying to stay patient as it was going to be anyways the end of this stage. And there we go. The yellows for the stage caution are out. And that's the end of stage 1. And we're going to begin probably by lap 55 as the pace car will stay out for a few laps. And when it goes green, and it'll go yellow again, making it the end of stage 2 at lap 110. I think time for these drivers to break a little bit and head into pit road, get some fuel if they need, get some tires if they want, and come back on recharged as just like brand new and get going one more time.
And another thing that's going to play a big factor here is who's going to get to their pit box first, who's going to get out quickly. This could definitely change the lineup here for sure.
Yeah, that's a big factor. That plays out a lot, especially in racing. You're seeing that who gets there faster, who gets a faster pit stop, who gets that pit stop advantage, which kind of plays out a lot on those race results, and that really is going to be the case. We see many drivers pitting in. Andrew Greuse still staying out.
Probably a pretty good call here for Andrew to stay out, try and get some laps back. Let's see if he can get back on the lead lap here. And here they come down pit road. The 9 car getting in his box pretty quickly. Donald Ray, and he is off. Here he goes.
He went off very quickly. Now it's going to be close between Austin Hund and William there, the 15 and 75. Whoever stays, whoever gets out of that pit box early will be taking that position on the track. I think it's all going to be very much beneficial for Austin Hund if he's able to do that. But currently we're just focusing on Donald Ray coming out back into the race lead.
And he has been on point all the way up till this lap of the race, and man, he has got one heck of a hot rod out here tonight. Car is on rails. He's going to be a hard one to catch here tonight.
Yeah, nobody's really closer to catch him. I mean, Andrew Greuse could have been giving him a fight, but that has been far away as well enough for him to really catch up to Donald Ray. I think Donald has got 2 victories before, one at Atlanta Motor Speedway and another at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. It could well be his chance here tonight at Darlington to make it 3 wins in the Cup Series for Donald Ray.
And with 3 wins, he would be looking really, really good in points here. Like, I'm almost positive he's probably already leading.
Yes, he is. He's ahead of everyone and ahead of William, actually, who's in second place with Donald 234 points to himself and Williams 185. So close in third place is Andrew Greuse with 176. So the fight will be between William and Andrew Greuse, depending who gains more points on one another. But Donald Ray is far, far ahead of all the other drivers. And we go green, we go racing with Donald Ray ahead of William, ahead of the number 14, ahead of the number 15. Then come the number 3 and the 5 with Donald already pulling away. Meanwhile, the 14 could well be on the inside of William, but not enough though. They almost try to go too wide, but not really. That's not going to be the case. Meanwhile, the number 14 now on the attack. from the 5 as the other cars now fighting each other as well. It's going to be the number 3 of Derby now just ahead of the number 8, and the 48 gets ahead of the number 8 as the pace car returns to the pits. It's going to be Donald Ray ahead of William, ahead of Austin Hund. The top 3 again is the same, just the leader is now changed from William to Donald Ray.
And we're seeing something that looks really familiar here. These 3 were battling earlier. Here they are again to try it one more time to catch Donald Ray.
Yep, it's really their chance, and I mean earlier on they were trying to catch William, and now it's time for William and Austin Hund to try and catch up Donald Ray. But I think once I mean, I've seen Donald others race, and I'm sure, Mike, you can call as well, Donald, the type of class he shows on the track. Once he gets ahead of you, it's quite hard to get him past once again. Unless he's saving up on tires or fuel, there's no time in catching him up. Meanwhile, Austin Hund's on his way to catch up Williams.
Yeah, Austin here been really, really strong. We've seen him just drop back at that one point. We thought he was completely gone, but here he is, and he's got himself in a podium situation here once again. And you know, you can't really count any of these 3 out right now. They've been super strong here. Donald Ray, he's been really strong, but these guys not really that far behind.
Yeah, not at all. I mean, there could be any chance. There could be any time of the race that they could have a chance. If not more, if we say that maybe Donald's a little bit quicker, he's not going to let them past. Only the odd opportunity for both of them could well be a mistake from Donald, which is quite hard to see Donald make one. But I think with the amount of cars we've seen that hits the outside wall, it won't be a wrong call to say that he might find himself at some point, at one point or another, and allow the ones behind get far ahead. Meanwhile, Austin Hund again still just staying patient, patient. We've seen him get closer to the car ahead for a chance for an overtake. Meanwhile, he almost loses out the car there.
Nice save there by Austin Hund.
Yeah, really great save. I mean, we see quite a few drivers spin around just losing the car like that, but some like Austin Hund to be saving the car up and really get back on in the position they were in. Meanwhile, William could well be on his way to be making an overtake now. He's very, very close. He's as close as he's ever been since the restart, and an opportunity and an overtake chance coming up for Williams on Donald now.
Man, here that 75 car is here once again, and the 9 car of Donald Ray, man, he has got to be sweating that guy right now. He has got to be sweating William being right there once again.
Yes, it really is going to test out his temperament, really going to test out his nerves now. Will he be able to hold on those nerves and really drive just like he has been every other lap? Or will it be turning up into a mistake? Will he be really struggling to keep it up on track? Only time will tell, though. We're on lap 62. Meanwhile, there's going to be a lapped car in between those 2 drivers. Will it be a little bit of a struggle? That kind of might have just held Donald there as he gets it past the number 24 car of Chris Mayo, with Austin Hund now coming right behind those drivers. They're side by side, almost touching each other there, just keeping away of making any contact. And one more time, Williams finds it hard to get through on Donald so far.
And man, they got so close there. I thought that maybe we were going to see some contact, but look at, once again, the 15 car, he got loose earlier, and here he is right back at it again.
Yeah, just once back, he just doesn't hold back. I mean, maybe a little bit of a slowance for William and Donald as well. Now they're almost bumper to bumper. They are indeed bumper to bumper and almost making contact, pushing each other. They will be. William almost pushing Donald there, but will he be going for that move on the inside line now? They're almost side by side, just backs out, but he won't be backing out anymore as William goes through and gets into the lead of the race one more time and ahead of Donald now. William takes it again. The number 75 leads the race here at Darlington once again.
And here comes the 15 of Austin Hund right on the bumper of Donald Ray now.
Donald in double pressure. It's going to be trouble for Donald Ray as he's getting overtaken by William, and he's going to be on the verge of losing the position to Austin Hund as well. Austin has stayed right behind the top two drivers for a long time, and I think this is the chance for him. This is the opportunity for him to go for it now.
But you look at the 75 car here, ever since he just jumped out in the lead, he is really taking off here once again. I know we said it earlier and they caught up to him, but man, he has got a rocket ship here tonight. And Austin jumps into second place right now.
And Austin does it this time around. Finally, the move that had been coming from a long time. He gets it done. 1.4 seconds. Look at that. William already pulling away as soon as he gets through on Donald. William is pulling away. The driver William currently in second place in the Drivers' Championship win. As we get closer to the end of the season, it's really his chance to show what he can do, and he really will be on his way to be doing the best he can be and just show the best performance of his and get to the top of this season. I think he's going to be on his way to try and perform. William hasn't won any single race, but just the consistently he's been there scoring points. That's why he's in second place in that Drivers' Championship. And I think he's really going to be adding up to it if he ends up winning this race here tonight.
But you also got to take into consideration, here we come into lap traffic, and Austin, you know, we've seen him come from nowhere, and he's in second. Let's see if he's got anything for the 75 car.
Yeah, not to forget the gap a few moments ago was 1.4 seconds, and now it's just 1.1 seconds, and that could well be getting less and less every lap as Austin finds himself just right behind one of the lapped cars there. And I think he will be ahead of that. Jamie Prey was 73 in no time as well, and get onto the attack to the 75 and really get him, attack him. And I think Austin won't be far away as well, as you said, so could well be big chances. We are only on lap 69 going into lap 70 out of 200, so still a long time to the end of this race.
And at this point, you know, you really got to pace yourself, because, you know, we're not even 100 laps in yet, and there is a lot here to go.
Yeah, there is a lot, and I mean, so for most of these drivers, it's almost like there's a lot to lose rather than there to gain. So it's going to be similar thing for Donald as well. Not much for him because he's still leading the championship by many points. So even if William or Austin end up winning this race, would get any closer to Donald as long as he finishes in third place and scores a few points. But a great opportunity for William and Austin Hunt to really just earn their first win here in the Cup Series.
Oh, and somebody, looks like they're going for a pit stop here. Green flag pit stop. Not sure who that was.
Yeah, let's see. I mean, we see drivers really having to make a mandatory green flag pit stop, but that only happens in that third stage. So somebody doing it now in that second stage could well be somewhat unwanted circumstances that we don't know yet being here in the commentary box, but could well be something interesting. The driver may definitely don't want to pit. Mayo and Peppers in pit road. Chris Mayo is out of the race, and Peppers getting the service needed to his car, and we might see him get back out on the circuit, but it's all over for Chris Mayo's night.
And that's too bad, because, you know, we've seen Chris be strong in other races, but tonight is just not going to be his night. Tough break for him.
Yeah, really be back again. I think maybe drivers just not finding it easy tonight to be racing here at Darlington after a long break in that Cup Series. So the car really acting up. They need the car to be acting up how much they wanted, but sometimes it's just not their night. I mean, it doesn't mean that. Probably that could have happened even if we weren't there for weren't coming back from a break, so it's all over how they drive on that night. Meanwhile, William got very close to that wall.
Yeah, that had to have been inches right there.
That could have ended very massively wrong. Just one wrong move, 1 second bit of difference, and it could have been a lot worse.
Austin Hoon still right back there, trying to run down the 75 of William Gay here.
Austin on his way. Austin, I mean, look at what William has done. He's got ahead of that 48 car and just making him run right behind him, because that then allows 48 to carry carried up by the 75, and then also maybe stock, not help the 15 as well, because maybe a bit of problem made. There we go, as the 48 trying to get through, but he's a lapped car, so that won't affect Williams' race, as he just wants to keep Austin behind for as long as he can.
But it kind of looks like, yeah, it looks like Austin's coming, man. Here he comes. It looked like he was getting really close that last time past the camera.
Up 78 out of 200. Meanwhile, now look at that. How close is Austin Hund? He's getting closer and closer. Sure, Williams going to try and keep that 48 car right behind him to maybe help him stop Austin from overtaking or getting closer. But for how long can he do that? Because Austin's coming with the speed of a rocket ship, and he's only going to be a matter of time before he's overtaking. If not, he's getting closer and right behind on the bumper of William. And gets to the side. The 48 allows the 15 car to get through and really lets him get past and into the back of William there. And that now is going to be great news for Austin Hund. I think he's got a great opportunity to be taking that stage 2 victory. But he needs to do it. He needs to make the overtake done. We saw Austin Hund stay patient in that 3rd place, but then when an opportunity arose, he overtook Donald Ray, and ever since has been trying to catch up to the race leader, William, and he's just caught up to William now. William is going to be finding his way very hard to try and defend from Austin. They're going to be almost side by side in moments time.
Here comes that 15 Mountain Dew car of Austin Hund. 75 car trying to run away, but Austin not letting him get any further. He is running him down. We might see a change in lead here if this keeps up.
Yeah, we could well be seeing that with not many laps away from the end of the stage as well. 110 will be the laps we will get the end of that stage. So really a good opportunity for him to overtake and get that stage win as well. And it's going to be very important. That pit entry and that pit repairs and pit services that at the end of that stage the drivers need. But I think before that, if he's able to just make this move here out on the track while racing, it will be great news for the 15 car.
He opts to go high at the entry of this corner. Let's see if this is going to help him out.
Austin really now looking for the chance, looking for the opportunity. As soon as he sees the door open, he will be going for it. He still stays high though. No chance of going low for him so far. He still stays there, maybe wanting William to go low and try and get himself on the high line and get through into the next lead, but still not enough, and still no movements from Hund though. He maintains his line and stays there high.
Austin pulling off one heck of a show here today. It looked like a 3 car got into the inside wall there. Not sure what's up with a 3 car there. It looked like he was really low on the straight right next to the inside wall. It looked like he might have hit it. And he must have, because look, there he is in pit road.
Yes, he might have. He sure have, but it'll be nice to know that did he make contact first with the wall on the outside, then hit the inside, or he was just closer to the inside wall and end up making contact, because it really could well be anything that could have happened there.
Oh, man.
Chris Mayo really had his steering broken, resulting in his rat night and the race being over, only for him to be watching it outside of that car. So now it's the time for the top two. Still not enough for Austin Hun to be making that move.
And I will be back momentarily, guys. I have to take a quick bathroom break. I'll be right back.
As we take it on, as we lose Mike for a few seconds. Meanwhile, Austin Hund jumps into the pits as he takes a green flag pit stop. That is some interesting thing to see. Not a lot of cars opt for that in that second stage, a lot of the races, but Austin Hund has done so. Did he make contact? Did he make any contact that we did not see? Because that's something interesting to see, because the running in that second position in the best chance of to be taking that race lead. And still, they are still just heading into the pits and opting for somewhat new services to be taken. And look at that. That 73 car of Jamie Prevost with the rear end of the car. Almost so much damage there as we see the number 3 heading into the pits once again. On lap 88 out of 110, which is going to be the end of stage 2. So the drivers who probably didn't need to pit won't be pitting, because they know that 110, lap 110, the end of it, will be an opportunity to be pitting and getting those tires and repairs if they need. So definitely something must have been wrong with Austin Hund, as he intended to pit on one of the previous laps. So quite interesting to see who's going to be taking that. Meanwhile, Morgan there thought that maybe the car was going out of control, but still stays there on the track. Lap 90 out of 200, lap 90 out of 110 to be getting us to the end of this stage, which will be 20 laps from now. So Austin Hund still stays in second place. Still the second place is his. He might be a lap down on the leader now, but it still finds himself ahead of everyone and in that second place now. And I think he's coming out of the pits. Maybe he knows that he might not be opting for that stage 2 victory, going for that one in the third and final stage, having a bit of extra fuel and tires. Maybe not pit at the end of that stage caution if he pits now. The number 48 of Peppers still running around, racing around the circuit, keeping it all there, trying to get many points as he can, despite being far away from the rest of the field. Still trying to take many points in P5, as we are now going to see Jeff Peppers head into the pits as well. Ooh, that was very close. That was close. Has he missed out pit entry? Yes, he has. Jeff Peppers has missed out pit entry. He really missed the pit entry going in there, locked up the front left tire, and that sent him straight on the outside of that pit entry wall. As you just have a look at different cars out on the circuit, one after another. We are seeing our drivers there, and it still is Austin Hund not in that second place anymore, and he's in third. He's in second place indeed. William has lost out. Did he pit as well? He might have pitted, as we see him in third place. He was slow. That allowed Donald to get closer and get back into the race lead. Now the top three are mixed up, and this is really going to be firing up and some spice of racing into the third and final stage. Right front tire on right front suspension should be on that number 3 car. Could be broken. I'm not sure how many times he's visited that pit road. We've seen him go so many times in there, but this could well be the final time as he heads in there, unless he finds a way to be repairing that and getting back out in the circuit. His night could well be over. Everybody single file racing. Not much racing going on at this point in time, with a lot of drivers having to go pit road because of problems and issues with their car to get them race ready once again. And I think William currently running in third place, falling up back from the race lead, finding himself in third place, still inside that top three though. And Donald has got him back up to that race lead. And I think to the end of this stage, we're really getting closer to the end of it, and it could well be on its way to the end in a few laps' time. Still a few laps to go, though. About 13 laps to the end of it. So somewhat racing laps for these drivers to do before it's going to be the end of this stage. And now this is close. This could well be close now between the two there. But this is completely different now. It is going to be Austin being lapped up by William. But will it be the case? That might not be the case. William now on the inside line gets through on Austin, as he takes the position up, as they were both in second and third place. Austin might have been making that move. Meanwhile, Jeff Peppers now on the inside, gets ahead of the 73 as well, but makes contact with the wall. Could well be on his way to the inside. The wall will be the case, as he just stays out of any more trouble. Make contact with the wall on the outside. Just keeps it away from any further trouble, but he almost makes contact with the wall on the outside one more time. Just keeps it away, as we are now halfway through the 200 lap race here at Darlington. Lap 101 out of 200, or you could say lap 101 out of 110, with the stage now getting close, as we are getting closer to the end of this stage, with Donald Ray looking to be taking two stage wins in a row so far here at this point, with William in second place and Austin in third. The top three finalized, at least as it stands so far. Nobody closer or to be challenging these drivers, as they are all on their own. The number 5 car of Morgan Sterling there in that P7 position. Running on their own as well. Just everybody almost running on their own. Meanwhile, we see Donald getting past that, lapping that car in P7 one more time. Of course, the track not being too big. Many cars going after one another. Pretty much lapping the leaders, lapping the cars, being slower cars. Meanwhile, William now through on Jimmy Bravo's 73 car as well, lapping him around. As we get closer and closer to the stage break. Ooh, really a little bit of close there about Prevo once again. Just a little bit of unstabling the car there. It's almost like the Xfinity Series race we had here on Monday night. It was just like the drivers far away from one another and not much racing action going on. Seems similar, but I'm sure as we get to the final stage, it'll be way, way different with the drivers getting closer to each other, and having that restart behind the pace car will get them closer and together. So that third and final stage will really be a thing to have a look at and really get ourselves ready up for some great racing action.
Sorry for the delay, folks. I'm back. All right. So it looks like we are on lap 106 here. So we got to be getting pretty close to the end of the stage, I would assume.
Yep, lap 110, it will be the stage. So just 4 laps remaining after this one. With Donald Ray really clear and ahead of everyone on the way to take 2 stage wins in a row now.
Very impressive. I've got to say, the guy is very impressive tonight. It looks like that car right there, the 73's got a little bit of rear damage.
Yes, he has. We saw one of the visuals of that car on the back of it, and he had big damage, and that could well be the reason that every corner he's making, we are almost seeing that he's losing out the rear end because it's damaged, and it really won't have as much grip as he would want. So there really will be a struggle. I mean, surprising he's still out on the circuit and racing out great in 6th place, I believe, and really kudos to him, man.
Yeah, definitely a tough task to do when you don't have as much grip as the other cars. Really hard to hold on to, especially on a tough track like this one.
Yeah, I mean, challenge is one thing, and then performance is another. So he's just taking out the challenge tonight and see what he can do most. With many drivers far behind and a few of them out of the race, it's a good opportunity to be still inside the top 10, top 5, and he's still running in P6. So good points for him, even if he finishes where he is. Now we're on lap 110 out of 200, but this is going to be it. At the end of this lap, it'll be yellows out, and the cautions for the end of this second stage, and stage break getting up with Donald Ray on his way to take 2 stage wins in a row. 1 stage 1 on his way to win stage 2.
Yellow.
And there comes the yellow flags, as that's going to be cautioned to the end of this stage, and stage break it'll be now nice to see somewhat of pit lane racing one more time. Before it was Donald entering and exiting out in first place after getting out ahead of everyone else, and it'll be the challenge to do, and one more time it will be his time to do it.
Yeah, looking really good out there.
And as we get to the end of this stage and running around the caution, we're going to take a little bit of a commercial break and be back at it as we go green.
Masker can't defend. He's got the outside line for the second part, and he can't hold on. Going the long way around. We're going to be 3 wide for the lead as they all come to the line. Who is going to take it in the end?
And here comes Lockwood. He's going to make the move to the outside. Quinn tries to force him off a little bit, but there he goes. It's going to be side by side through turn 1.
Will he be able to cover him off? He does. Weaving back to the left-hand side. Reynolds is trying everything. The kitchen sink is being thrown at it.
They're leaning on each other. Coming into turn number 3. It's going to be a drag race through 3 and 4. Coming back to the line. Here comes Frisch on the bottom.
Richard's going to hold the inside. Tries to be the late breaker here. They're going to be side by side through the final chicane. They bang doors, but keep it clean.
As they're still 4 wide on the run down into the back straightaway. Demerit's looking for a line as well. What is going on in Michigan?
Novak into the fence. They're still beating and banging. And to the line.
He is much faster coming through there. Is there damage on Challenger? Abramitis is ahead. There's going to be a race to the line. Who is going to get it?
And re-racked here for the final stage here. As you see, the 9 car of Donald Ray is the leader at this point, and the 75 car of William Gay sitting in second, and Austin Hoon's still right there in your top 3 as we get ready to do the start to the final stage here, if I can English. Anyway, lights are off on the pace car. We're just waiting for it to dip into the pits and waiting for that green flag. There goes the pace car. Now we just need to see the green flag, and there it is. And we are racing. And the 9 car of Donald Ray with a great start to the stage. The 15 car here of Austin Hoon doing a really good job as well. Keeping right there with William. Been strong here pretty much all race, these 3. And once again here they are. All 3 of them battling once again. This is going to be a good one here, folks.
Yeah, it really will be. And I mean, like, once again, seeing Donald getting a very good restart on that on that stage restart. And I think he's got a chance. And I think, sure, we are seeing maybe Austin get in there, William get in there. But once again, I mean, you got to say that Donald just seems to be in a class of his own. And they just say that William is going to be on his way to almost overtake him there on the track. They were almost side by side for a moment as he just stays behind and not enough for an overtake.
Yeah, that was almost a chance for William to get underneath Donald there, but it did not happen. And, yeah, Donald here trying to go for the sweep tonight, and if he does, you don't see that happen very much.
Yeah, I mean, it probably has happened maybe once or twice before, and it has been Donald himself who's done it before. So he could be just only breaking his own records around BMRL Network if he keeps doing this sweep all three stages here tonight. I think he's got a good opportunity to be doing that. And again, we see him for moments, maybe other drivers getting up closer to Donald, getting up closer to him, but in the end, he still finds his way to be at the top when it matters the most, and towards the end of a stage or of an laps to be coming to the end of the race, he ends up being in first place.
And Zeb, we are on YouTube, right, buddy?
Yeah.
So, that being said, I'm going to do this for you. If you guys like what you're seeing here tonight, feel free to like and subscribe. We will have more of this on the channel here. And, yeah, there will be a lot more races to come. All right, Donald Ray still leading here, and the 75 car of William Gay still trying to run him down here. And you can see the 15 car of Hoond has kind of slipped back a little bit. He's he's losing time to these two. These guys really wheeling the car around the track here, but the 9 car tonight has been untouchable to this point. We've seen William Gay get around him, but he has not been able to keep the lead from him.
Yeah, and has not been able to keep it or get closer. Sure, we've seen a few overtakes being made by William on Donald, but Donald in the end just gets it back by himself. It's still Austin falling behind the top 2. I mean, he could have been in there had he not fall back and really be in the fight for that race win in the top 3, but William is not leaving Donald. Sure, Donald has kept his lead, but William is not pulling it back as well. He's not staying behind. He's still looking for an opportunity or an odd move being made by himself, which is going to get him into the lead. So, at least if not more, a mistake from Donald, a lose of focus for a few seconds could well be the treasure for William here tonight.
And you notice all night this battle between Gay and Ray here. William gets up on the bumper, almost passes, and then Donald Ray finds a way to get out again just enough to keep him at bay, and then he's found a way around Donald. But like I said earlier, he just can't seem to keep it. Donald is on his A game here tonight.
Yes, he is, and I think just like any other races that we've seen Donald be, he still finds himself very nicely, and he's just, as we speaking high of him already, I mean, his defending, which I've probably said things about before, and it just is top-notch, just a level better than anybody around the whole grid.
Yeah, definitely. When you got a driver like this that is on a whole nother level, it makes it so hard to try and keep pace with him, because most of the time, if you're going up against a driver like this, you're putting your car right on the edge of control.
Yeah, it's almost like even if you are having the pace, you're having the speed to get up closer to them, you just don't have enough opportunities or enough tryings and performance to overtake them. You know, keeping up with them is one thing, but then overtaking is another. So you got to have both to win races, and I think one of them is lacking that here, that's for sure.
Yeah, and we've seen where the 75 car, he may have gotten a little loose once or twice, but the 15 car of Hoon, we've seen him really step out and thankfully hung on to it, and he's kind of kept himself in the race, but not really quite up there with these two at the moment.
Yeah, not really. He's kind of just having his own race. Meanwhile, we see William now getting very, very close to the number 9, and he could well be on his way to be making the move. Just backs out.
Oh, man, so close to the wall. Holy cow. That was close.
Very,
and he's going to opt for the outside. Here he goes. And he takes the lead.
William takes the lead and finds himself ahead of Donald one more time and gets ahead into first place with Austin a few corners away between the top two, but William does it again.
William doing some really good moves here. He's made very, really nicely timed maneuvers here to get around the 9 car of Donald Ray. But look here, Donald Ray catching right back up again. Might be looking for a move here shortly if he can get right back to the bumper here. And they're going to run the high side here, try to keep momentum going. Smart move by them because they are really just putting the laps in here. We are on lap 129 of 200, about to go on 130 here momentarily. There you see it right now, lap 130. The 9 car not giving up at all, keeping the foot down on the throttle, not letting William get too far away here.
Not at all. I mean, he's just sending a message there. You might have overtaken me, but you haven't got all over me, and I'll come back at you anytime soon. So be ready to defend, and it's going to be big defending testings for William to see and show us all what he's capable of doing. But will he be capable enough of keeping his lead as Donald is on his rear bumper already, and the move could well be coming up one more time.
And you've seen the last corner they were in that Donald went for the inside move, but that high line for William working really good and keeping him at bay there.
Once again, very close between the two, and I mean, sure, William doing as good as he can to defend, and they almost make contact, but this time around, William switches to the inside, and Donald doesn't, so he overtakes him on the outside, and gets ahead one more time. William loses out in the position, and just like that, Austin's now very close to William as well, and he's going to be making a move. He's going to be overtaking William, and Austin Holland is going to get into second place now.
We got the top 2 cars, the Mountain Dew machines here. We got the Major Melon and the Game Fuel car here. And yeah, these 2 guys, honestly, these 3, I mean, yeah, William had the lead, but it looked like the only thing that slowed him down was he got a little loose, and that is so easy to do at these speeds on a track like this.
Yeah, that's exactly what happens. I mean, just a little lose out of focus, and it could just well be for a little bit, half a second, or even for a few milliseconds. But that then at a racing circuit is gonna be very, very big damage, because with another car coming at you like at the speed of a bullet, that doesn't go right for you. You have to be at 100% correction to really not lose out positions.
And look at that run that Austin had there in the straights, catching up to Donald. He had a really good run there, and it looks like he's continuing here, making time on Donald. Is he going to catch him?
He could well be. I mean, he could have. Sure, he's been inside that top 3, but he hasn't quite had a chance at that race lead. Could we see him go for that race lead move? Will he be the underdog coming to the end of this race and going for that race win? Will we see him do that? It changes. It keeps changing. The fight, the race lead, the race win chances for any of these 3 inside inside the top 3. It's really changing up every moment now. Still uncertain. Still, we cannot say that who's going to be taking the victory.
Yeah, at this point, this could be anybody's race. We still got a little bit of time left here. We're lap 136 in of 200. So still a little bit of time here if he wants to make a move and try to get that lead. But at the same time, you want to do it at the right time. This way you get out front and it is game over.
Yeah, you're absolutely correct about that. You need to time it up very perfectly, because if you do not do so, you could well maybe overtake them. But if there's going to be like 20 to 25 laps remaining, they're still going to find a way to get back to you once again. But on the other end, if they try and do that towards the ending, maybe the final 10 laps to the end of this race, then only that could well be your chance of securing the race win.
And I'm almost sure on top of that, too, we're probably going to see a green flag pit here as well.
Yeah, that is going to be interesting, because if I'm not wrong, that must be mandatory to do so in a race long like this one. In the third and the final stage, a mandatory green flag pit stop for all these drivers. So the top three will be on their way to really see who's going to time it better, who's going to be having the perfect pit strategy to win them this race and get them out ahead of everyone.
Both of these guys doing a great job here up front, really putting on a show for everybody. Really happy to be here doing this. This has been a lot of fun tonight, Zab.
Yes, it really has. I mean, we are still in the middle of this one. Sure, we've had our few shoes, but that hasn't. That the drivers haven't disappointed. They've really delivered to our expectation. Meanwhile, Jeff Peppers is going to get through on the 14 and the 73, as now the 14 is through on the 73 as well.
Really nice move there by the 14 car of Peppers. And here he comes chasing down the 48 car.
Peppers 48.
Oh, Peppers is 40? Oh, okay.
Yes.
My bad. I thought he was a 14 car there for a minute. My bad, everybody. Well, anyway, the 48 car did make a pretty good move there.
Yeah, 14 is Humberto Albera something. Oh,
look at this. Look at this.
Two.
Oh, here we go. We got a battle on our hands here. And the 15 takes over the lead with that move coming into that corner. Donald Ray has now dropped to second place.
And we were just focused on at the back of the field. Austin said, hold for a second, as he gets through on Donald Ray now and takes on the lead of the race here at Darlington. Will this be the move for the race win? Maybe not with the amount of laps remaining, but this will still be a good momentum setter for Austin Hund, and a chance for him for a race win will be on 100% now.
And look at the 14 car here catching up to William Gay. William really dropping back now. There goes the 14 car for the pass.
William has dropped out massively from that race lead, now backing up to far away in positions, and that's going to see him lose out more positions and fall behind the 14 now, which I probably believe the 14 must have been lapped by William already, but we'll see. No, he is not. He might be lapped, because it shows William is in third place. Unless the overlay updates later on, we are only going to find out.
Either way, really good job getting around the 75 car there. And here comes the 48 car of Peppers.
Yes, he did very good there, but the 14 is 6 laps down on the lead lappers. So that wasn't going to be for the position, but still, William then probably just letting him go, because maybe thinking that third place is really going to be his best bet for time being.
And Austin here basically making a statement here to Donald Ray, saying, you can get a big lead like that. Hey, man, check this out. I could do it too.
Yes, he really is. I mean, he's really taken up matters to his own hand. He must have, Donald would have been like, I'm going to go and dig a clean sweep. But Austin was like, I'm not going to let you do that unless Austin makes a mistake and falls back far behind. But as it stands, he really seems to be ahead of Donald and be in a very comfortable lead position. 1.2 seconds ahead of Donald Ray.
And in just a few laps here, we will be at lap 150 of 200. I would be expecting them to make a green flag pit here very shortly.
Yeah, it'll be time for that in a few laps' time, and that wall will be as their fuel and tires will be running off laps after lap, and they've ran them for quite a few laps now. So a green flag pit stop in a perfect. What time might you think will be the perfect window for that pit stop for them to really make those remaining laps and then not ruin out all the grip in those tires and really have a fight and battle out for racing, as well as not having to worry about maintaining their tires or managing fuel?
Right now, my guess, I would say either lap 150 or even maybe go just 10 laps more and try to do it at 160. This way, you know, they're at least halfway through this next 100 that we're in right now. That gives them 50 laps to go if they go into the pits at 50, but also gives them 40 if they decide to go in at 60, which not really that big of a stint there, so they might be able to get away with it here at lap 150.
Yeah, I mean, considering they had that stage break with lap 110, so they pretty much pitted in that stage break, so they must have at least to go lap 50 laps after it. So lap 160 maybe, I think, choosing that, just having to do 10 less laps to the end of the race.
Yeah, that would be my guess too. I think that's a pretty safe bet there. And here we are at lap 150 of 200. And as you can see, the top two are still out battling. The 9 car trying to keep a good pace here, but the 15 of Austin Hund is just gone. And the 14 car here, 6 laps down, but he is looking for a move to get underneath the 9 here and try to catch up to Austin to get a lap back.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, maybe very little late into the race, but she's showing some good speeds now.
And, you know, nothing wrong with, you know, staying in the race to have a little fun here, too.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, he was having to fight for that position back, as we see Donald not giving him the position back, really. He's fighting it almost like a position.
Some good side-by-side racing there with the 9 and the 14 there for a moment. As they go around the 3 car here. And yeah, you know, the 9 car and the 15 car all night have just had their foot right on the gas pedal and not really letting up. They have just been really tearing the track up tonight, going as fast as they can keep that car going, and it has resulted in something that you just don't see every day, guys. I mean, yeah, you know, Donald Ray at the beginning got a really big gap, and, you know, we've seen William get around him, lose it again, get around him, lose it again, but now Austin just gets around him, and you don't see him anywhere right now on the screen. He is completely checked out.
Yeah, I mean, the top 3 cars, really, as you said, you don't see something like this every day. Like, one after the other, just leads keep switching, the drivers keep switching, be it Donald at one point, be it Williams then another, and then Austin at this point, really 2.3 seconds now away from Donald Ray.
And it looks like I seen a little bit of smoke there. It looked like someone might have bumped the wall there in front of William.
Ooh, that could have been a bit of trouble for them, and maybe not for them, but if things start to worsen, they could well be a caution, but I don't think so. At this point, that'll be a caution for that little bit of smoke, but definitely drivers, we've seen many of them bumping up into the wall after one after another a few times here tonight.
And it looks like they might be trying to go to lap 160 before they go in for a green flag pit here. Here we are on lap 156. I would assume they're at least going to try and get to lap 160 here.
Yeah, they really will be, considering they pitted at lap 110, even a little later than that. inside that caution pit stop. So really not having to worry about the tires to be running out. So maybe nothing bad in taking a few extra laps on this stint and really go on a new one, having to do a little less laps to the end of the race.
And check out the 14 car. He just passed Austin, getting a lap back just like it was no problem on the inside.
Yeah, he's really throwing everything. He's really getting up the speed now towards the end of this race, but really trying it harder to get a lap back.
And here we go, green flag pit right here at lap 157 for Austin Hund.
Austin heads into the pits. Now it'll be somewhat panic caused up by all the drivers around, thinking it'll be when is it going to be the best opportunity to pit, with William now taking the lead, but he'll be coming up into the pit at any time soon as well.
You know, this being kind of like the shorter speedway track here, it is not going to take long once William gets into the pit. Oh, and here we are, yellow. I was just going to say, while it was green, it would not take long while William is in the pits for the people that have already taken their pit to get around him and just take the lead right back.
Yeah, we just get a really late caution now to the end driver making contact. 73 involved once again, but just good opportunity for the drivers who were looking for a green flag pit stop now to pit under the caution.
Yeah, definitely. This is kind of exactly what the doctor ordered for some of these guys here.
Yeah, almost like that.
Huh. Weird. I keep getting Facebook messages. I keep hearing a tone, but I don't see anything.
No, I hear a tone as well, but that must be...
Oh, that might have been Matt.
Yeah.
I was thinking it was me this whole time. I was like,
no. I've been hearing that for a long time, so...
Literally every time it's happened, I pick up my phone. I'm like, where?
Yeah.
Well, all right, folks, we are under caution right now on lap 160, and this is definitely going to change a couple things up here. You see Austin now is probably going to have some pretty good space here between him and Donald Ray now. Ray, I do not even see on the track at this moment. Still says he's in second, though. So we'll see here momentarily when they get him racked back up here for the restart.
Yeah, really, he's not in there with the cars out there with currently out on the track for that restart, but he'll be getting up there maybe into the pit road really to get the best repairs, and I think it was a great opportunity now for the drivers to get a free pit stop for all of these. So they even have to do with less laps, a lap or two less on the new tires as well. So a good opportunity, but of course the pace car light's now off, so it'll be coming up into the pits this lap.
And now it looks like they're actually stacking up the way the running order is showing. William Gay is out front. Donald Ray will be in second. Austin dropping down to third in this caution. We've seen him really just take off on that last stint. Let's see if he could do it here again after getting some gas and some fresh tires.
Yeah, I think still anybody's game, and the top three very close. Maybe Austin 18 seconds behind, but he's got an opportunity to catch up to these guys until the pace car stays there. It goes in now, but he's close. He's very close now.
Green flag.
And here we go. Race says green flag here. And here we go. The 75 of William Gay takes off. The 9 car right behind. And Austin Hoond has a car in between him and Donald Ray. Can he get around it fast enough to get back up here? We will see here in just a couple laps. And look, he is already back around the 14 car. Here he comes making his charge back up towards the front here.
It's on. The battle is on. The battle for the race lead and between the top 3 is going to be on. Nobody's leaving one another. We will have to wait and see who's going to come out on top. But don't go anywhere. Just stick your seat and grab some popcorns to watch the battle towards the end of lap 200.
Lap 164 here. And your top 3 is Gay, Ray, and Hoond. Here they come, coming down to the straight here. And actually, that would be the back straight, my bad. Here they come into 3 and 4. Williams starting to make a little bit of a gap here. Here they come down the front straight. And it's going to be William Gay leading another lap. And Donald Ray not able to keep him in his sights. Austin trying to get Donald into his. Let's see if he can pull this off once again. He did it once. Let's see if he can do it again here. The 15 car looking like he's got a really good high line going here.
Yeah, big opportunity for him. I mean, Donald finds himself in second place at this point with is he second or is he's second actually with William ahead of both of those drivers right behind. So Donald now looking to maybe defend from not only trying to attack William, but then try and defend from Austin as well. It's almost like double trouble for him at this point in time. At one point, we're looking for him to be doing for a clean sweep, and now he finds it hard to even stay in second place if Austin comes at him at the pace as he's coming from the last few laps.
Yeah, right now Donald Ray kind of stuck in between a rock and a hard place here, with your leader being William Gay, someone that he's fought with all night long, and then you have the other car that he has fought with all night of Austin Hoon in the 15 Mountain Dew Game Fuel car just behind. Definitely going to be a tough order here to fill for the 9 car tonight.
Yes, it will be. I mean, just being between between, as you said, between the rock and a hard time, really. It's almost like there is, as you say, maybe some big water, if that makes sense. Almost like to be drowning in an ocean, or to fall off a mountain on the other side. So he's got to stay in between, or maybe choose one path. And I think it's only going to be one for him to try and attack the car ahead and not really stay in between.
And it really looks like William here has really put a gap here. He is 1.4 ahead of William, or not William, sorry about that, Donald Ray in that 9 car that we're looking at right here on camera.
Yeah, I mean, he's really serious as well for a race win. He really looks like to be one of the contenders here tonight. We haven't seen him win yet in the Cup Series, so you haven't seen Austin Hoond. So we could well be on our way to see a new winner in the series tonight.
Yeah, and that being said, his first win, I'm kind of rooting for him now, knowing that. I haven't been here for every race, but, hearing that it's his first win, go out there and get him, buddy.
It could well be a chance, seeing that he's second in the championship, despite with no victories yet. So it's going to be a good addition to that championship, as well as a good momentum to carry on into the last few races to the end of the season.
And, we're starting to run out of a little bit of time here. If either of these two right here on the camera, Ray and Hund, want to catch up to him, they've got to do it soon because, like I said, we're running out of time and laps are flying by right now.
Yeah, they really are. With 172 is now we are get past that 173. Just 27 laps now to the end of this race. So they are indeed passing rapidly with the drivers now just having to think about what they can do. And I think William now could well be almost turning this performance and this third stage restart almost a dominant leg of run unless he's caught up by the drivers behind, but so far he seems to be in no trouble.
Yeah, William there getting right through those two lap cars just like they were sitting still. Oh, some contact there on the outside wall there.
One more time for Jamie Prevost in that 73. He's already got that rear end all damaged of that car, still finds himself hitting the wall.
Yeah, for some people, certain tracks just don't match up with their driving style. And, that could be a good example of that. Everybody has their favorite track and everybody has that one track they just cannot stand and cannot get the speed out of their car. And, that could be what's going on for him right at this moment.
Yeah, it could well be, but with all due respect, I mean, I've seen him bump into the walls a few times or on a more than one track. So it depends. I mean, sure, one could learn from the mistake they make. So one could hope for that when the next time we see them, that could well be their best of one of the best of their tracks. So anything to improve, they can really get it on the next time.
And that's the thing too. Driving these high horsepower, high speed cars. It's not something you can just hop in and do. It, to be as good as these guys are up front, this takes a lot of time in the driver's seat.
It really does. I mean, they need time, they need experience, and that only comes from practice and really depending on how many races. And it's almost like you have to know that how many times can you go around a certain circuit. Can you go around a circuit 200 times around here clean to be racing here? So really a nice thing to know. And I think, sure, one thing that is experience and time of trying to be as good as you can be around this competitive field. So yeah, I mean, a good chance for everybody to show what they're capable of, and the examples are there, the top three.
And some of these guys that can do this on these tracks week in and week out, they race these so much that they almost know every crack and crevice on the track.
Yeah, they do. I mean, they know every braking point, where they need to brake, exactly the point, where they need to accelerate, brake again out of a corner. But it depends if there is a braking zone in these oval racing tracks. But I think, as you said, the cracks and really some bumps out on the circuit that are going to lose them time. So they're really trying to take out the best racing line they can think of and really be it the one that's the most fastest one.
And this being an older track, you could tell just by looking at the track's surface, it is not exactly that smooth.
Yeah, it will be a pretty much a very, very much a bumpy ride for these drivers with now just 20 laps to go. The best has to come out of the top three if they have to win this race.
And you gotta appreciate these guys too. Even if they don't take the W tonight, this has been so much fun to watch these guys do what they do week in, week out. And, the fact that the league lets us come in here and do this, really awesome. And I got to give a shout out to Chris Mayo for letting us come in here and do this. It's been a lot of fun, and I appreciate you letting me and Matt come in here and join Zab here on the mic. And this has been great. First time here at Darlington, lots of fun. And yeah, if duty calls, I'll be back.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, with especially, sure, I most of the time have been used to doing races on my own, but a race this long, it really helps out. And to really, to the big thanks to you, you really have put the light to my work as well. Just be in a competition and work as a pair for a race long like this one, over 200 laps, to really keep it entertaining and really keep it going for the amount of laps we have to. And we just hoping that we get to work a lot more and just enjoy it, make all those watching around there, keep it entertaining for them, and really keep ourselves intact into the races as well.
And I know a lot of people probably think, oh, you guys are just broadcasting for something that's on a computer, it's not real life. Well, it's considered a simulator. I know a lot of people argue that, but these guys want it to be treated like, they're actually out there. It makes it fun for them, and I'm glad we can give that to them. As you can see, there's a little bit of contact there from Donald Ray on the outside wall. Here comes Austin.
Exactly, and now Austin could well be on his way to be taking second place. Donald Ray now finds himself very hard, almost like falling backwards on a mountain where there is so much to lose out, and they could well be making a move. Austin is going to be on his way to overtake Donald Ray as they are side by side, but Donald just moves out ahead and doesn't let him through.
Donald really working that high line to fend off the 15 car of Austin Hoon, but you've noticed the last 2 laps where you're watching the 9 car, and you can see a couple times there where William Gay's car, just like right there, peeks into the camera just a little tiny bit, so they must be making a little bit of time on him, but is it going to be enough? We have 15 left to go here. These two trying to work together to get something going here against William.
Yeah, maybe they can do, but it depends what they can in the remaining 15 laps, or they don't want to lose out the second place to each other, because they could well be working together, but then Donald could be like, I'm very comfortable to be in this second place here. What if Austin takes it from me, and then Austin on the other end, that I'm going to try and overtake Donald there and take that second place, but maybe if we try and work together, I might not be able to get that second place. So will there be a little bit of a team play between the drivers, even if they are teammates or not? But will it be a little bit of selfishness as well? Just I take my place, and I don't give a damn about what the other you take. I just want my points.
Yeah, it could go either way. They could just take what they got right now, or you never know, they could try and push for that lead, but it looks like, honestly, they're getting closer. You could see there was Williams' car, and just a little while ago he wasn't even in the picture here on the camera while we were watching these guys, and now there he is. It looks like he might be slowing down a little.
Yes, and I think now it's on once again with 12 laps to go to the end. It's going to be once again as exciting as it was at the start of this race, and pretty much that second stage. We saw most of the time the top 3 running together, even on that stage 3 restart. So this is really going to be now very exciting with Donald Ray, the clean sweep chances and hopes about to be revived once again.
Here they come, following Williams' every move. Donald and Austin trying to get to the bumper before it's too late to try and get around. And it looks like William is rapidly starting to lose time here. Either he is trying to save some fuel, or his tires may be just completely shot by this point.
They might be, or he's just overused the fuel and now slowing down to save a little and save a few points on fuel to get him to the end of this race with now just 10 laps to go. The battle is going to be on.
Here comes your top 3 through the camera right here. William Gay Donald Ray and Austin Hoon right here trying to go for the lead. Who's going to be the one to get it? Donald Ray hits the outside wall. That looks like it's going to slow him down just a little bit.
Yes, it
and
will.
that
yes,
is unfortunate.
Really unfortunate, but as we said before, even a milliseconds of a focus lost, a mistake comes into play. But that kind of Uno reversed with Donald now almost overtaking William there.
Yeah, he gets right back into it. Not giving up just yet. 8 laps to go here. And he's got William right in his sights right now, man.
Not at all. He really isn't making that mistake. Get up to him. He's getting closer and closer. And maybe with William now seeing the 2 cars into his rear view mirrors, making him a little bit of anxious and nervous as well. Will we see him catch up and be clear on those nerves, or will he be making a mistake as well?
The 9 car definitely applying the pressure here to William Gay. He's got to really just focus on what's in front of him here. Try to keep that smooth line he's had all night to try and fend these 2 off. But like you were saying, we don't know if he's saving fuel because they caught up to him relatively quick. And look at this, right to the bumper. The 9 car. And 15 right... Here they come, man. A whole stack of cars just going for it here in the last moments of the race.
And this is racing. This is what we call some great racing with 6 laps to go. And we still have no idea who's going to be the one in that first place.
And looky here. We got to move to the inside for the lead. Donald Ray. Donald Ray to the inside.
Williams going to be back. He's not going to let him through. But will it be Austin? Oh, sorry. Will it be Donald getting through now? It's going to be Donald losing out.
Austin moves up into second.
Austin takes it up. He says, you're not going to do that. I'm going to try and overtake you. And he's done it all with 5 to go. Can Austin go for that move? Can he really do it? This is going to be the right time and a perfect time for an overtake for the race lead.
The 15 car of Austin Hoon looks at the 9 car and says, bye, Felicia. Oh, and look at this. Austin kind of running the low line there while the 75 car of William gets kind of on the high side there.
Yeah, very, very now clear with just 4 laps to go. Will it be Austin? Meanwhile, Donald comes back at him. Will it be Williams' first win of the season? Will it be Austin's first win of the season? Or will we see Donald get back at him? Donald going wide to the inside one more time. Where did he go? He's out of the picture. He's back at it. And now the top 2 are there once again with 3 laps to go.
This has been a fantastic battle here between these 2. 3 laps to go. And you notice, guys, in the corners is where he is making his time up here against William. Can he fend him off for the remaining laps? This is going to be a tough one.
It really
and here
will
he
be
is
now,
right to the bumper.
Into the bumper.
Austin putting on one gem of a show here in the last moments. And look at this. Here he goes for the lead. Austin Hoon takes the lead with 2 laps to go.
With 2 laps remaining, Austin Hoon takes it all. He's going to be there as the final lap now begins. As the victory hopes for William from a delight to not a disaster, though still in second place. But the victory hopes do or die. Meanwhile, Austin Hund is going to be getting closer to that checkered flag as he's now going to be taking that checkered flag with still a few corners to go for him, but he is going to be on his way unless he puts it in the wall. There's no one stopping him with now him just getting to the end of this race, and that's going to be checkered flag with Austin Hund taking victory number 1 here in the Cup Series, and he finally has a win to his name and an absolutely glorious race for William as well, with Donald Ray finishing in 3rd place.
And man, what a performance. He stayed right there with him for most of the race. He was really patient, and it paid off, man. He went for it at the right time. Just a couple laps left. He knew he had what it took to get him, and he didn't give up. And, well, this is what you get when you don't give up on a win here, folks.
Oh, let's go.
And of course, we got to have the victory donuts here at the start-finish line. Right, everybody. Awesome performance by you guys. So let's interview the 3rd place finisher here. That would be Donald Ray. You got your ears on, buddy.
I got you.
Man, you put on a good show all night. Thought there for a little bit you might have had it, man, but these other two, man, they really had something for you.
Yeah, both Austin and William both were super fast. I think we was all right there pretty equal on pace. I was able to get out ahead after that last pit stop because I pitted a little bit earlier than them. And at that point, I was just trying to save a little bit of tire, and then they started catching me, so I started pushing. And I think I probably could have held them off had I not got into the wall a few times. But it is what it is. Congrats to Austin. Congrats to William, top 2. I mean, it was super fun, like I said, and it was clean every time we got around each other. I don't think we might have bumped just a little bit, but I don't even know if it was enough to register a 0X. So hats off to those guys for clean racing, and that's what we come here for, to have that kind of fun.
Yeah, definitely. It had to be fun to be able to compete like that up front all night long with these other two dudes here, Austin and William. Man, like, you guys pretty much stole the show tonight, not going to lie.
Yeah, there's a couple others that had some misfortunes early that probably would have been up there with us, Adam and Andrew, but Andrew right there off the start, I guess, spun his tires, scared the fire out of me. I thought he was fixing to take me out, but luckily I was able to get past it, and unlucky for him, but that's the way it goes sometimes.
Yeah, and we were kind of wondering what happened there at the beginning because, I mean, that not really like him.
He just spun him there off the start, and it's happened to all of us if we've done enough races. And it sucks, but we learn from it.
Well, hey, man, is there anybody you'd like to thank before we head to the next person here in line for post-race interviews?
Well, first, I want to thank you guys again for coming here and doing this for us. It's a lot of fun to go back and watch this stuff, especially races like this where you could see how close the battle was and how clean it was and how much fun we had. So, and then also thanks to William and Austin for racing clean. That's what this is about.
Yes, sir. All right, buddy. We'll enjoy your podium finish tonight, and we'll definitely see you at the next one.
I bet. Thanks.
All right, Mr. William Gay, give us a little play-by-play here. Those last few laps, man, we noticed that Donald here and Austin just kind of started catching up. We were wondering if you were like saving fuel or maybe your tires just got kind of wore out. Not really sure what was going on there, buddy.
Yeah, I had a couple times where I made my tires mad and had to slow down a little bit, and I knew those guys were going to catch me. I mean, Donald and Austin, man, they're top of the field. I mean, they're class act guys, and I knew they were going to get to me. I was just trying to get some lap cars between me and them and try to stay out as long as I could. And Donald caught me, and Austin right behind him, and man, I was sweating the last 10 laps. But hats off to those guys. They raced me clean. Like Donald said, I think we may have touched a couple times, but not enough to even register a zero. So hats off to them for racing me a clean race.
Yeah, man, you guys look really good out there, all three of you. And, at the beginning moments, man, you had one heck of a rocket ship between you, Austin, and Donald here. It was something else, man. I'm still in shock by how long you guys kept that up.
Yeah, I don't, we do practice, and, really, I don't do very well with practice, and very rarely do real well with qualifying. I normally kick it up for the race because then I'm racing like people like Donald and Austin, and I'm trying to stay with them, and I'm trying to learn from them as well because they are top-notch drivers, man. So yeah, I had a fast car tonight. So but I enjoyed every minute of it. It was a good race, and I'm just glad to walk out of here without wrecking.
Well, man, it sounds like you're in good company with people to learn from here, buddy.
That's
Is
right.
there anybody you'd like to thank before we head on here to the race winner?
Well, just like Donald, I want to thank you guys for putting on the broadcast. I also enjoy going back and watching them, and believe it or not, you can learn a little bit from watching from your mistakes when you go back and watch the broadcast. So I enjoy that, and hats off to Donald and Austin. They raced me clean. They didn't try to. There was a couple times in the first stage where I felt like Donald could have passed me, but he raced me clean and he let me run some laps, and he bought his time. So hats off to them, and hats off to BMRL for putting on this every Thursday night.
Yeah, definitely a great series you guys put on here. Well, congratulations on second place tonight, buddy. Good job out there.
I appreciate it, brother.
All right, our race winner here, number 15, Austin Hoon. Man, you timed that just right to be able to get around William there. Wasn't sure if it was going to happen there for a few laps, but you got it, man, and you have to be feeling pretty good about that one.
Yeah, that one. That's probably about one of the most fun races I've had in terms of the ending. And I honestly didn't think there was a way I was getting around William, but he made that one little mistake. If it wasn't for that, I think he would have had it because we were all in about the same boat with tires, trying to get runs off corners and stuff. It just wasn't working. We were all getting loose up in the wall. So,
yeah, I seen a couple times out of all you guys where you just barely would touch the wall. And man, you guys running that high side so nicely tonight, though. It was wow. I couldn't even done that myself, man. That is really hard to do.
yeah, Darlington's it's a tough track. It's a hard one to figure out for a lot of people. But no, that race there was. It was a lot of fun. That's what we come here for. Is the fun of it. So.
And, I mentioned this early when the race started. This is a track where you're not really going to see 3 wide, but you're probably going to see a lot of side by side. And man, like you really just stuck it in there when you needed to, and it paid off. Being patient, man. You waited, and you seen a gap, went for it, and it paid off, buddy. Nice job out there.
Thank you, sir.
All right, is there anybody you'd like to thank before we head out of here?
First off, the wife and the kids for giving me a little piece of quiet to sit down and do it, and then the whole broadcast group. That way we can go back and watch it. Like William said, they're fun to go back and watch. And then I'm gonna reiterate what they said. Also, just good, clean, fun racing. It's hard to find that most time.
Well, all right, guys. Thank all 3 of you for coming in here and giving us the post race. And we'll see you next time. And good luck on the next race, guys.
Sir, thank y'all.
All right, fellas. Thank you.
All right, guys. That'll do it for tonight. For Extreme Sim TV, I'm Mike Winter here with Matt.